Ashley. We've never met, and this is completely out of the blue, but I wanted to let you know how much you inspire me. Thank you so much for what you're doing with 17 and Teen Vogue.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm also a ballet dancer. I'm in 8th grade, and I love what you're doing. You really inspire me, and I hope the editors will change their minds.
JK, LOL. I'm Izzy Labbe.
I'm Julia Bluhm.
Caitlin and Ashley are two people who wrote us letters thanking us for what we did with 17 magazine. Julia, what did we do with 17 magazine?
Well, Izzy, remember last April when we were chatting with other girl activists about how Photoshop models can really have a negative effect on girls' body image and self-esteem? Well, that's because the media creates this unrealistic idea of beauty that girls strive to achieve without really knowing or recognizing if it's Photoshopped. And as all of you probably know if you were ever a teenager at some point, the media is not always a friendly place for everyone and has gotten a lot worse with the advancement of technology.
With that advancement of technology, media sources like magazines are able to digitally alter the appearance of their models, aka Photoshop,
So girls think that they have to look just like these impossibly perfect images to be considered beautiful. Oftentimes, girls will try to change themselves or lose weight.
Scary statistics. 3 out of 4 girls feel unhappy with their bodies after looking at a magazine for 3 minutes. 53% of 13-year-old girls are unhappy with their bodies. That number increases to 78% by age 17.
I saw this sort of thing among my friends at ballet, who often complained about being fat or having a fat day. I remember feeling like I didn't measure up to the images on the cover of magazines myself, and secretly wishing that my hair and skin looked like the perfect hair and skin of the models in the magazines. Sure, I always kind of knew in the back of my mind that these images were Photoshopped, but I wasn't thinking about it all the time. I certainly wasn't thinking about it when I was just flipping through a magazine.
Like Julia, I always sort of knew that when I was looking at a magazine, there was a difference between what I was seeing and what was really there. Luckily, though, I was blessed with a really good self-esteem. And those images never really got under my skin. However, there were friends of mine who were affected much more deeply by these images and started developing low self-esteem at a really young age. And seeing my friends hate themselves all because they didn't think they measured up to this fake standard of beauty made me want to do something.
So in April, I was chatting with other girl activists from Spark Movement, an organization that works to fight the sexualization of girls in the media.
And I was asleep on the couch watching Star Wars.
We were brainstorming ways that we could take action against these unrealistic images, and we decided to start small and target 17 magazine.
Julia, why 17 magazine?
Well, Izzy, 17 magazine is one of the most popular fashion and beauty magazines for teens, and they have done a lot to help girls feel good about their bodies. So we thought if they were already doing all that, why wouldn't they want to take it a step further and agree to publish at least one unaltered photo spread a month in their magazine? That's what we were asking them for. So I wrote a petition and put it up on change.org, asking 17 to feature less Photoshopped images.
And I decided to make use of my amateur movie-making skills and film Julia and I frantically running around our school cafeteria during our 18-minute lunch block.
Yeah, that sucked.
And filming kids reading and reacting to 17 magazine. I didn't really know what I expected, but here are some highlights. I first asked some of my female friends, mostly ages 13 and 14, about 17 magazine. And there were some pretty funny responses, like my friend Courtney, who said in response to my question of, what do you see in 17 magazine? Well, this is just tons of butts. I asked some of my male friends who commented on the strange proportions of a model's body and how shiny she looked. One of my best friends looked at the magazine too. I asked her if she thought Photoshop was wrong, and she said no. I mean, if you don't like something, you can just change it. Seeing their reactions made me really think about 17's use of Photoshop and how it affects both girls and boys.
So this made us really excited to see how other people would view the petition too. But we did have doubts.
I don't know, I thought we were going to do pretty well.
Well, I hoped we would, but I certainly wasn't expecting it. As you can imagine, what happened next came as a pretty big shock. I came home from ballet one night, and my mom told me that the next morning I was hopping on a plane to go to New York City to be interviewed by CNN and ABC Nightline. While I was in New York, I met up with a bunch of Spark activists, and we held a mock photo shoot in front of 17 Magazine's headquarters. We held signs and marched around while reporters crowded us and stuck microphones in our faces. I guess we were noticed because I was invited to go up and meet with Anne Choquette, the editor-in-chief of 17 magazine, with my mom and Dana Adele, the director of Spark Movement.
Meanwhile, in Maine, I watched 147 episodes of The Office and tried to multitask enough to help Julia from home. So I wrote a blog about our efforts, and I wrote another one about our video, and I chatted a lot with girls who were involved, and I watched a lot of the news, which I had never really done before.
So I was sitting on a pink zebra print couch in Anne Choquette's office, talking about how important it is to feature pictures of real girls in a magazine that's supposed to be for real girls. Anne Choquette said that she agreed, but that magazines have to Photoshop little things, like stray hairs, bra straps, and pimples. But she didn't really say anything about Photoshopping girls' bodies or face shapes. However, when she was asked about it by the New York Times, she said that they weren't going to get into specifics about what they did and didn't do.
Why do magazines Photoshop, Julia?
Well, Izzy, magazine editors think that people will be more likely to buy their magazine and that they'll ultimately make more money if the girls on the cover are perfect looking. But is that really the case?
Here are two images, one of which is a real magazine cover. I mean, I can't tell which one's which, I can't. One is a picture of some real girls. Would you rather buy a magazine with a perfect girl on the cover or a magazine with a girl who looks like you, real?
I know all of you would have bought the one with us on the cover, because honestly, who wouldn't?
No one.
But for some reason, companies still think that people are drawn towards the flawless photos.
But girls aren't flawless, and people know that. That's why we did so well on our petition. Julia, how well did we do on our petition?
We ended up getting over 86,000 signatures on the petition. And in August, we got some exciting news.
17 magazine agreed to publish a body peace treaty in their August issue. They promised to never change girls' face or body shapes and to feature more diverse images of girls in their magazine.
We were really happy to hear that and considered it a huge victory. Not only did we get one of the most popular fashion and beauty magazines for teens to listen to us, we got them to respond. And if we find that 17 magazine isn't keeping their promises...
So a lot of kids are sitting at home with things they want to change, but aren't changing them because they think they can't, because they're only a teenager.
But we're here to tell you that you can make a difference. We did. It starts with getting involved in a youth leadership organization that will give you the resources and support that you'll need to start your own action.
It's a long process, and you have to be patient, but don't stop believing.
Thank you.